Thanks for hanging on, everybody, because we've had some quite detailed points this morning and quite a lot of people have been hanging on the line. But Warren, what was your experience of the court system?
Morning, Nicky. Very tough. God, I think I'm going to start crying, even considering what I've been through in the last 2 years. Well, I have my daughter every weekend since the relationship with her mother broke down. She stopped contact for no reason the week of my daughter's 5th birthday, and the same week my son was born after I moved on with somebody else. It's taken me 18 months to even get to see my daughter again, and I had to, because my barrister advised me, was to go to a contact centre. The court took no consideration in regards to what contact was previously in place. I had my daughter every single weekend for over 2 years. Not only that, I even collected my ex-partner's other daughter from school every Wednesday and had her at my house for dinner and then dropped her back home. So I had my daughter like 3 times a week, all weekend. Courts have not been interested in that whatsoever. They're not interested in hearing anything what the father's done in the past. All they're interested in is the mother. My solicitor asked my daughter's mother why it broke down. She said we fell out. Since then, she's been to court and made accusations about me, and the court are not interested in listening to anything else apart from the mother's point of view.
What accusations has she made? How damaging? How upsetting?
Once about drug abuse, and I was told I would have to take a drug test. I said, that's fine, I'm willing to take a drug test. She was ordered by the courts to pay for that. She failed to pay for it. And then the last time I went to court, she turned around and said I was abusive towards her. Even though the courts were given police disclosure from both of us, there was only one case of any physical violence, and that was by her on me. But the courts have completely dismissed that.
David Emerson, is it all too easy to make such accusations in this situation?
It is easy to make accusations, but I think the difficult, and I say this very, very carefully indeed, that the courts have a difficult problem in trying to understand what is a genuine problem that needs to be investigated and tested, because, of course, you've had phone-ins in the past all around the Baby P case, where, accusations were made there, they weren't properly investigated, and of course that ended in absolute tragedy. Now, I'm not suggesting for a moment any of the callers here necessarily fall into that category, but how do the courts know without this being tested? One of the best ways forward is to try and get a dialogue going, which is why there's a lot of emphasis in the Norgrove report about trying mediation.
That's actually wrong, David. What you just said about Baby P is actually wrong. Actually, the natural biological father was denied access to his son Peter because of false allegations. So there's a father who wants to be a loving, caring, responsible dad, look after his child, who had his son murdered at the hands of mum and her boyfriends. So that's actually wrong. That's a good example of a case where a father was denied access on the basis of no evidence whatsoever. And I think it's important, not just about dads who've had false allegations. What about the fathers we know, the high-profile fathers we know who've had contact problems? Look at David Blunkett, the former Home Secretary. He had contact issues. What happened to Bob Geldof? He went to the family courts. He had contact issues. What about Alec Baldwin, the American actor? He has contact issues. These are not people who are abusive or dangerous. These are good, loving parents who are struggling to see their children.
John in Leicestershire, have you had contact issues?
Oh, I've gone through hell, yeah. I mean, I'll try to be brief. The point I want to make is when I heard David, or the gentleman in your studio, defending the status quo, what he's just done is he's condemned thousands more fathers like me to go through the hell that I've gone through. And I know from my own hellish experiences that what it is about making money for solicitors. The whole situation is so adversarial. My solicitor was fantastic. My ex-wife's solicitor, her first 2 solicitors were awful. It was all about making money. And all this nonsense about this is the best option. He said that if they were to have an assumption of shared residency or equal rights for parents, then it would put the child in the middle of a dispute. My child was in the middle of our dispute because of the law as it stands. I've known 2 men, at least 2 people, kill themselves because of this. The hell that they've gone through. They weren't able to cope with it. And that wasn't because of the weak, it's because people simply don't understand how awful it is. And one more point I'd say is my ex-wife didn't enjoy this. I've gone through everything that FBS said. I've been accused of being a drug taker, a paedophile, beating my child. I now have a good relationship.
By her?
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't her, it's a system.
Well, how can a
it's
system
almost-
accuse you of being a paedophile?
Well, no, what I mean is it's almost like they have a rule book for mothers. You know, my ex-partner is a lovely person. She's friendly, compliant, she's a normal, middle-class, decent person. Where do they go away and learn about, say he's a drug dealer? It's all the same. You hear in the same story
where
over and
the
over again.
paedophile
Where's
thing
the law? Where's the law?
you don't, if you're a normal, nice person, you don't accuse another human being of being a paedophile.
Oh, you do, Nicky, you do. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Nicky. This is the point. People don't
isn't
understand.
right.
People don't understand. People say, "Well, this can't happen." It happens.
Well,
The
how
hell
can
is
that?
so
How can
bad?
that? How
The
can
point
any?
is, Nicky, can I just
It
address this?
happened to me.
Can I just address this
I
point
believe
here?
you. I'm maybe.
There is a point here in civil courts. The civil courts investigate his allegations on the balance of probability.
Yeah.
What the law should do, the law should treat. If there's an allegation that a child's at risk,
okay, what does
from
she say
mother or
about
father,
the-
the police should be called. The
John,
police
what does
should
she
be
say? You
involved.
say you've got a reasonable relationship with her. She's a nice woman, fundamentally. What does she say about having made that accusation now?
Well, I don't know because I'm not allowed to speak to her her present husband, and all we do is we text each other, and that's why I've given a false name. I certainly don't want to rock the boat because I enjoy a good relationship. I know she once said to my father, "I don't want all this, I want a peaceful life," but it's almost like people get pressured into it because they can. How do we start it out? We both love our daughter completely. We're both good parents. She's an excellent mother. How do we both start it out? With the presumption of shared parenting, this would never have happened.
Okay.
And the Northwest report said that we should encourage mediation. Mediation can't take place because once she says no, that's it. If were there to be shared parenting, she would have to mediate.
Thank you so very much, Oliver. We're out of time. No doubt, a subject to which we will return. This is 5 Live.